Okay, so welcome back to another video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. This is my second attempt at doing this video. um, okay, so let's talk about my targeting. Okay, let me give you the update on those. So again, start seeing heavy presence of the police where they will drive by and they will be flashing only their red lights. Okay, that's the only lights that they'll have on. Flashing when they approach me or they're passing me, and so that's what's been happening. And also, so this morning, over the weekend, since I've been home, yesterday they started with the noise campaign. They had me under heavy remote neural monitoring, which I couldn't go to sleep because of the microwaving. So whenever, that's one of the negative side effects of being microwave with microwave radiation. Microwave frequency is that you get insomnia, you can't sleep, right? And so I couldn't really sleep last night after all of that with the noise campaign and the remote neural monitoring. I couldn't sleep, so I was up late. I was studying. I was trying to study early, but I couldn't because of the noise campaign, and it took me a couple hours to get back my focus. And then I started studying, so I went to bed late. I woke up this morning early to go to class, but I was so tired that I was like, okay, I'm gonna, skip my first class and I'll make it my second class. So I got up to go to my second class. Got a call around a little after 9:30 from Pamela. She was saying that she was driving to work and the car shut off on her. Okay. So I'm looking at the time. I was like, you driving to work? I was like, what time is it? I know she has to be at work for 9 o'clock. So, but anyway, she's always late anyway. And even when I try to get her to work on time, it's a problem. I'm trying to do you a favor by driving you to work, taking you to work on time. Yet you're complaining, right? Because you have me waiting for sometimes 20 to, over half an hour in the morning, waiting for you after I drop the kids off from school, to try to get you to work on time, but your mindset is not even getting to work on time. So she was like, well, my job is important and this can't be happening, this and that. So I said, well, whose fault is this? Because I told her yesterday to go get parking for the right side, but she didn't. She's like, well, it was so hard to leave the house to go get parking. I said, I do it all the time. And then she's like, well, I said, yes, even with the kids at home. Ethan is 10 years old. I make them some snacks, okay? And I go downstairs, and you're just downstairs. There's a phone. Ethan knows my number. Okay, if there's anything he'll call me, right? And so so I said, listen, all this could have been avoided if you had just went outside yesterday and moved the car. So I just said to her, because she's trying to make it seem like it's everybody else's fault. And I said, that's the thing is with you is that you blame everybody else excepting the responsibility to blame yourself. Now there's certain things that, you blame other people for, but then other things when, you just have to accept that, this is your fault, particularly, if you're sleeping in, you're not going to bed early to get up early to get enough rest so you can get to school or get to work, right? Not get to school, get to work on time, okay? And so, that's the issue. And I keep telling her about it, and she just gives me all these excuses about, she needs to wind down and she can't go to sleep like that. I say, well, hey, you know what? As long as you keep with that mentality, guess what? You're going to always be late for your job. Doesn't matter which job you have, okay? Because you do need proper sleep, okay? Just like for me, I couldn't sleep last night. And I woke up this morning to go to class. And even though I could have gone to class, I would have been so tired that I couldn't even concentrate. So I was like, you know what? I'll miss this class and I'll just go to the second and the third class. So anyway, so now I had to, took a cab, go to her. I told her, I said, stop somebody so they can give you a boost. I said, there's cables in the trunk. So she did that, and then I was on my way there. I got there, started the car, and I dropped her to work, and then I was heading over to the mechanic. Now, when I got over to the mechanic, when I'm on my way to the mechanic, again, a lot of heavy police presence, okay? Again, they're only flashing their red lights, okay? And then I get here, they tell me that the mechanic is not here. The owner of the shop is not here, right? I need to talk to him to, to have, certain things installed in the car. Because I think that's what the issues with is the brake boost. I know I had bought a brake boost months ago, and had, it was supposed to get installed. It didn't. My brother was supposed to do it for me, but he didn't do it. He keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. He's like, I can do that on the block, but every time I call him, it's like I'm bothering him. So I never really mind. I just kind of left it alone. But now it needs to be installed. So I'm over here at the mechanic, waiting for the mechanic to come back, and I'm just looking to see if he's back. And he wasn't there. They're like, he stepped out. He'd be right back. So I was so hungry I didn't eat breakfast. I said, okay, let me just drive to go get breakfast. I drove like maybe 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes to drive and get breakfast and come back. When I come back, they were like, oh well, he was just here and he left again, and he'd be back shortly. So I've been sitting here now for about an hour. He still hasn't come back. And then I started thinking that maybe that's why there's such a heavy police presence on my way over here, because they probably told him not to help me. Just as how there was a heavy police presence on my way to Pam, okay? And I talk about this a lot of time whenever they use her to target me. When I leave and then I come back the next day, there's always a heavy police presence on my way over to her. So it was the same thing happening this morning with the heavy police presence on my way over to the mechanic. So again, I just kind of find it very strange that the fact that he's not here and he couldn't help me. So okay, so guess what? I just missed the mechanic again. I just looked in the rearview mirror and I saw him walking back in the opposite direction, and I'm like, but I came in there and I asked if he's there. They know I'm waiting outside for him. When he came in there, they could have told him that, hey, you have a customer waiting outside for you. So guess what? Now he's going again, right? So now I gotta wait again, for this stuff. So anyway, as I was saying, right? So again, like I said, I noticed the heavy police presence on my way over here. So again, this is like the same thing. They probably told him not to help me and not to assist me in any way, because this is what they do, right? This is what the government do. And I remember there was another TI, Alda, who had went to Europe. I think she said she was in either Italy or France, and she had went to the American Embassy for help, and she said the next day she came back and they told her to come back the next day. They told her that they've been told not to assist her in any way. So this is what they do. This is the government, whether it be the police, members within the police department or the FBI or the CIA, what have you. Okay, this is what they do when you're a TI, you're a target individual. This is what they do, right? They get people to not help you in any way, any shape or form. And so this is what I'm dealing with right now. All right, so I'm stuck here now. It's after 12, so I'm definitely not going to make my class. So which means I miss an entire day of school, an entire day of class, and it is what it is. When you're a TI, right, you realize that, hey, no one is going to help you in any shape or form. It's up to yourself or others who are in the same predicament, who are being targeted the same way that you're targeted, who's been experimented on the same way you're being experimented on. That we have to help each other, right? And so this is the reason why I do these videos, to make those TIs aware. So if you haven't experienced this yet, understand that this is what they're going to be doing. Hopefully they won't, but as a TI, I know that they will, because this is part of the program. This is the retaliation part of it. This is the beat you down until you submit. This is the take away your hopes, right? And your ability and your spirit, your fighting spirit, right? And your ability to fight back, right? Whether it be financially, whether it be psychologically, they will try to remove these things from you, okay? And so I had also called this place so I can start seeing a therapist again, another therapist. This was with no medication, okay? And they had told me to call back last week to set up an intake. I called back. They told me that they couldn't find all my information. Now this is after I spoke to someone and I gave them my information, okay? And then that person told me to call back. When I call back, all of a sudden this person's not there, and then they can't find none of my information. So now I have to call them back again and again, because again they've also been told I believe, not to assist me, not to help me in any way. Okay, and so this is what they've been doing, right? Under the radar, they've been doing things like this, right? Saturday, I went to my neurologist to get more medication for my headaches. I usually take this injection once a month for migraines, and so the prescription ran out, and the headaches started coming back even more. You know, even when I was on the medication, I still get the headaches, but it just wasn't as much. So it was a lot better. But after the medication ran out, I started getting the headaches again because of the microwaving and remote monitoring. So I started getting those sharp iceberg headaches again more frequently. And that has also contributed to me not being able to concentrate, as well as with the noise campaign and the psychological campaign being waged against me. Okay, and so when you attempt to get any type of help with these things, they don't want you to get help because they want to destroy you mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, socially, right? Educationally. They want to destroy you in every single facet of your life, right? And it eventually leads to homelessness, hoping that you'll commit suicide or something, or you'll get all angry and assault somebody and get incarcerated, or get put in a mental institution, something like that. This is their ultimate goal, right? And so because you're fighting back against the negative programming, you're fighting back and exposing, so they retaliate in this way, right? Meanwhile, they have people thinking that they're trying to help you, and this is not about helping you. This is not about even creating a society in which it's somewhat better because of this program. This is not about that. This is about experimentation. They got another NYPD vehicle just turning as the mechanic is walking back to the shop. I think that's the mechanic. Let's see if that's him. Let's see. It looks like him. Yep, that's him. And so there you go. So yeah, I see the NYPD just turned as he was walking down again, and now you see these perps over here. Well, you can't see them. He's doing like the victory signal, and as you see the cops. So this is me talking to him back right here, as he's doing the same thing as the mechanic is walking by. So again, you guys getting some real time, even though you guys can't see them. I'll have to turn the phone to the camera around. But I'm gonna go now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.